Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tech Showdown. My name is Kevin, this is my co-host Teddy. I'm freezing at the moment because of some cold weather we've been having here right now. But anyways, today we're going to be answering the Q&A that I asked, I think about 2 weeks ago, yeah. Just wanting you guys to ask me any questions and I would answer them. So let's get right into it then. And the first question comes from, not all of these were from YouTube, some of these I'd seen around other places as well. David Young asks, I watch all of your content and really enjoy it. Thank you. So I hope you can help me out. You do a lot of graphic card comparisons. I do, and I will be doing a lot more very soon as well. And that is how I found you. Do you like SLI/Crossfire, and do you consider that a viable option, or do you believe in buying the best single card you can afford? I already own a 970, so you might see my dilemma. Okay, so you might have noticed that I've only ever done single card comparisons to each other. And this is because, as you said, and what a lot of you probably already know, is that you want to go for the best single card you can get. Always, always is the way to go. So, and I've always been a big proprietor of that. So, yeah, always go for the single best graphics card you can. Now, does, you know, SLI and Crossfire have a place? Yes, it does, and I think it will be more viable in the future. For right now, the main issues, of course, micro stuttering is an issue that nobody likes. Also, the fact that the memory doesn't stack a lot of time. This is more of the case with the like mid-level graphics cards. That the memory doesn't stack, so if you're getting one with say 2 GB of VRAM, you get two of them together, you still only have 2 GB of VRAM, which is going to limit you quite a lot more than maybe the horsepower of the GPUs themselves. So yeah, always go for the single most powerful graphics card if you can. However, there are times when getting two will be obviously work out a bit better, but I think this will change in the future with DirectX 12 coming out. I'm not sure when, but sometime in the future. If rumors are true, which is that it will allow the memory to stack, you know, so if you run SLI, say for your example SLI 970s, you'll get 8 GB. You'll actually be able to use all 8 rather than being restricted to the 4 or 3.5 if you want to be funny. So yeah, I think for right now that's still the case, and what a lot of other people in the industry will tell you is always do go for the single fastest graphics card if it is possible. The next question comes from Ibra A asking, we need GTX 970 versus R9 290X. Well, it's not really going to be possible right now. I don't have a 290X on me. And they're quite difficult to get right now because the 300 series is about to come out, so a lot of people aren't stocking them. So I won't be doing that video, but I will give you guys the benchmarking results of both of these cards. So for this one, it's going to be the Asus DirectX 290X, which I tested and actually didn't have the thermal problems that the 290 version did, versus the Asus Strix 970, so the two closest ones I could get together. I will add a disclaimer before I go through these benchmark results, is that I don't know what drivers both of these guys are on. I'm assuming these 970 ones were a relatively new ones, so that might add to it. But yeah, I don't know what drivers these guys are running. So the first benchmark we'll talk about will be Unigine Valley. So this is on the Extreme HD preset. The 290X scored 62.7 average frames per second, and the 970 scored 57.2 frames per second average. It's about 5 frames there for the 290X. Now Unigine Heaven, this is on DirectX 11, everything maxed out 1080p. The 290X scored 55.9 average frames per second, and the 970 scored 53.8 frames per second, so that one brought them a bit closer, about 2 frames there. And finally, this is Tomb Raider, everything maxed out 1080p without VSync. The 290X scored 85.2 frames per second, and the 970 scored 80.7 frames per second. So yeah, that kind of is what I've always thought of when it comes to the two cards, is that they are very similar in performance. Obviously the 980 outdoing the 290X, however the 970 and the 290X are on kind of even playing field, and then the 290 slots in behind the two of them. So yeah, that gives you an idea anyway, but I won't be doing that video. But hopefully that clears it up, and there's probably plenty of other benchmarks you can look at comparing the two cards. But yeah, they tend to go blow for blow in performance. Which brings us now to a question I get asked by a lot of people, which is about Teddy. And it's, why do you include Teddy in the videos? Well, there's two reasons for it. The first is Mr. Bean. So if you guys ever watch Mr. Bean, I used to watch it a lot when I was a kid, and I found it really funny, and obviously he had Teddy in the show. So I thought that was quite funny. If you haven't watched Mr. Bean before, I suggest you watch it. It's kind of a acquired taste, I suppose. The humor, it can be quite unwatchable for some people, just because it can be really embarrassing or cringy, I suppose would put it. So that's one of the reasons, but the second reason is because it was given to me by my brother, who's overseas right now and lives overseas now. So I don't get to see him very often. Now when we were young, me and my brother would make a lot of like home videos together, and one of my biggest things moving forward was to get YouTube big enough or start another YouTube channel where we could make videos again together. He took a course in directing, he has a degree in directing. So he's very much about filmmaking. He's made a few short films too. So that was why I always wanted to get, you know, YouTube big enough so that we could start a channel or do something that we could do together and be making videos or short films and stuff together, or doing something like that. And obviously he isn't here, so instead of having my brother as my co-host of the show or co-director or whatever it might be in the future, I have Teddy instead, because he gave me Teddy. So that's my reason for including Teddy in the video, and it's also just to have someone, so it's not just me talking to you guys, just something to bounce off. It's just something a little bit different. I'm sure some of you probably don't understand why, but it's just something fun. I just thought that I'd add in to make the channel just slightly different to what some other channels might have. So that's going to round out this video for the questions I have. I try to answer the questions in the comments below my videos if I think I can give an adequate answer to people, or usually you guys come along and answer questions that people have anyway, so thank you guys for also always answering people's questions if they have them. It's really helpful, and it's good to always be helping other people out, because a lot of people aren't as well informed, which is why I try and make my videos not too advanced so that we don't lose too many people along the way. It's always just you know, advice that everyone can take in and, you know, learn from, basically. So that's the way I want to do it. Now I'm also still thinking about doing the stream, so in that we would figure it out in some way that you guys could donate to me, and in return I would answer any questions you had about anything tech related. That way we could just, you know, it's kind of like give and take and works out really good for both of us. So I'm still thinking about that. Let me know in the comment section below if you think that's a good idea or something you'd be really interested in. That way obviously if I'm streaming as well, we can go around the internet and I can show you different things, and go around the internet and show you different things. Oh god. You know what I mean, like go into different tech websites or reviews of different things, and we could just discuss it and really figure out things from there if you had ideas for a build, or you're discussing 2 graphics cards or 2 CPUs or anything like that, as well as just my general knowledge as well when it comes to all things tech. I can bounce things off you since I've done quite a few reviews by now and I've tested quite a few of the products. Now I thank you all for watching this video. Please subscribe to Tech Showdown if you haven't already, and as always, I'll see you guys next time.